So we take this from Atul Gawande. He's written a bunch of really neat books. One's called Complications, another's called The Checklist Manifesto. He's got a more recent one called Being Mortal, which even if you're not interested in medicine, just as a way to learn about how to put sentences together, these are books that I highly recommend. What we're going to draw from is an article he wrote in the New Yorker about getting good at a profession. And so what he talks to, or who he talks to, is a really great violinist named Itzhak Perlman and a really great opera soprano named Renee Fleming. And they have really interesting things to say about how they improve. So Ms. Hoffman, you want to read from Itzhak Perlman?
The great challenge in performing is listening to yourself. Your physicality, the sensation that you have as you play the violin, interferes with your accuracy of listening.
What do you think he's getting at there? Why is it hard to hear yourself when you're playing the violin?
Because you're sort of in the moment and you're focusing on trying to hit the right notes and what your hand is doing, and you can't multitask that way. You hear all your mistakes, or you think it sounds great and then you hear the recording and it didn't. I mean, you're just not going to be accurate.
So apply that to writing.
When you read over something that you wrote, it sort of sounds like, well, this is the only way I could have said it. So you need somebody else to look at it because you're not going to catch all of your own mistakes because your brain wrote it, and to your brain it just sounds like you're going to read over most of your typos.
Yeah, exactly. So that's what Itzhak Perlman does. He gets essentially an extra ear. He asks someone, I think it's his wife, but someone he really, really trusts, who says, look, you have to listen to every performance I give and you have to give me candid feedback because I can't hear myself perform. And we have it in the sense also with Renee Fleming. She has someone who their job is to listen to her performance and give her feedback because she doesn't trust her own judgment because she's performing it. And so what she says is what we hear as we are singing is not what the audience hears. And it's a perfect parallel to writing of what we hear as we are writing, just as what Ms. Hoffman said, is not what the audience hears. You really need to figure out how can I bring in somebody else who will actually give me intel on what my sentences sound like because I can't trust myself. And so you can break this down in the sense of it is tough to hear yourself write, or even it is tough to hear and see, this point about the typos, what you have actually written. You will skip over your writing because you're the one who produced it. It makes sense to you because you created it. The real test of writing is whether it makes sense to somebody else, so you need to find an extra ear.